Personal privilege, Representative Ivey.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, members, for listening. I wasn't expecting a table motion, so just right out the gate. But look, that's the process, isn't it? You know, we play the politics, we play the games. We go to the road shows for those of us who did, and the one theme that we heard that was a nonpartisan theme was draw us a map that's for us, not for you. That's what we heard, recurring. Everybody who was at any redistricting roadshow meeting knows that, but that's okay. This is another demonstration that what are we really here for? This is the last bill that I'm going to author this year. I won't be authoring any more House bills. I may have a few resolutions, but I will not be authoring any more legislation for the next regular session, and maybe the rest for the next year either, and that might be my legislative career. I'm going to focus on trying to help y'all with work that y'all want to do, because being principled, trying to be consistent, isn't necessarily politically expedient. And so, for those of you who don't know, there is pending litigation in federal courts right now on this very subject. And we have an opportunity to demonstrate that we've grown, we mature, because we all say it's not about race. We've grown, we've matured, we've evolved, right? We're enlightened. And what do? We repeat ourselves because we don't learn from history. Because we prioritize politics and a word that I can't speak on this microphone. That's what we prioritize. It's a bunch of BS. It's okay though. The people, look, we'll just continue to get by here in Louisiana because we're too stupid to work together, and that's okay. Our state is dead last. We had kids from all over the state come and tell us they have no hope. When this institution, over the last 100 years, has extinguished the hope of our children, shame on us. I know many of you don't understand me as an individual. I've spent the last year reflecting on who I am and not understanding why I have so much, I'm so misunderstood. And there's a lot of personality reasons for that. I'm only focused on one thing, making this state better for our children and grandchildren. I'm not as interested about making this state better for the people who've been here and it's been going great for. Our children are leaving our state, and we're okay with that because we do nothing about that. When groups of people in our state do not vote because they feel that their vote doesn't count because they're right, their vote doesn't count, what are we saying? We're saying we haven't evolved at all, but that's okay. We'll continue to be dead last. We'll continue to be the state that we have to attract with billions of dollars of incentives to come. That's what we'll continue to do. It's okay because you're okay with it. Because our electorate chooses not to hold us accountable. The apathy throughout this state is evident in each of you. When you fail to act, when you can, when you should. I bit my tongue for the last 9 years, and I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm going to call it what it is. It is what it is. We lie to ourselves. We pretend, we play the games that it's about the people, but it's not. It rarely is. You look at every bill that's passed in this last year, what you'll find is if it wasn't backed by deep pocket corporate special interest, didn't have much of a shot. But that's okay. We're Louisiana. We're going to keep on keeping on. So I don't know what leadership looks like. I haven't seen it. I had to come up after Representative Glover, who did a phenomenal job yesterday. I don't have the eloquence of speech as he does, and certainly not the tenor in the voice. But in 2016, Representative Glover and myself, we had an altercation on the floor, and it was ugly. I didn't speak to him for over 18 months, not a word. I was mad. Look, I'm a very forgiving person. I can count on one hand how many times it took me longer than a few hours to get over something, and it took me a while to get over that. But I forgave him, but I still didn't speak to him for over 18 months. One day, I was speaking with Representative Cox, hanging out in the back, And it ended up just being Representative Glover and myself. And we talked for 5 hours. I got to know who he was. He got to know who I am. And we don't really get to do that here because we're too busy playing the politics. We're too busy focusing on all the things that don't matter. Politics is the distraction in our nation and in this state. And what's the price that we pay? Our children's future. But we're content with that because it's about me. It's about my district. It's about, keeping the status quo. That's the most failed status quo in the nation. Because we don't want to upset the apple cart. We don't want to make a judge upset. Heaven forbid we, allow people the opportunity to actually elect a candidate of their choice, and in doing so, a judge might not like a few precincts that aren't in his district. We know what moves us. We know what moves this body at times. So, this is Louisiana. This is it. This is us. This is how we do things. We squash debate. We don't debate issues. We have everything pre-planned, organized. Look, we've got the political machines and operating full throttle all the time. And the people, they're so disenfranchised, they don't even pay attention. I ran unopposed twice, and no one's tried to do more to get unelected than me from a party political perspective. All right? So what I've shared with members who are brand new is just do the right thing for the right reasons and don't worry about anything else. If you do that, you're going to be okay because I can defend everything that I do. And look, sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes I get it wrong. And I will apologize publicly if I've made an error in public. And it's okay to be wrong after you've done all the due diligence and listened intently and tried to do the best we can. But how many of us can say we did the best we can? I've told people this institution is the laziest group of people I've ever worked with because it's true. Because we got problems everywhere and we don't want to solve them. I said the institution. I wasn't targeting anyone. It's an institution collectively. Collectively. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up. I apologize. I meant no offense to anyone individually, but sometimes collectively, here's what we expect. We expect that someone else is taking care of that, and so we don't make any efforts. That's what happens all the time. There's problems everywhere, and we just assume that somebody else is working on it because we're a large group of members, 105 of us. So institutionally, and not only that, but what happens when you try? Look what happens. And again, I understand this is a politically controversial bill, but I've offered a lot of bills that have not been politically controversial. And look, this isn't about me and my failures. I'm okay with not passing legislation. I'm comfortable with it. I try. That's my job. I'm gonna close with this. John Quincy Adams said this: "Duty is ours, results are God's." So when I come up here, it ain't about grandstanding. It ain't about getting reelected. It's not about me. It's about trying to do the best I can to serve the people of this state, to help create a brighter future, a brighter tomorrow for our kids. That's it. It's the only reason I'm here. So, thank you, Mr. Speaker, and members for your indulgence.